everyone, how's it going? Nick from Vant Trading here, coming at you with another informative educational video. Today I'm going to be covering a new topic that's actually been around for a couple of years but has blown up in the last month or two, and that is the NFT market, non-fungible tokens. You're talking about people selling tweets, people are selling videos, people are selling highlight reels, people are selling a lot of digital goods, and it might make you scratch your head as to how the hell this works. How do you sell a video? How do you own the rights to a tweet? And how can you capitalize on it? What are some ways that I foresee this market evolving? So we're going to define what this is. This could be for traders. This could be for investors, for people who are interested in these cryptos, or it could just be for the mom and pop who are wondering what the hell their son is doing upstairs buying and selling clips of LeBron James. So I'm going to be covering what is an NFT, kind of how does it work, what are some examples of some crazy NFTs that we have seen sold already, how you might be able to capitalize on it both as an artist, as a speculator, as a buyer or seller, whatever, and how you might be able to capitalize on it as a trader in the stock market. So I'm going to be going through a lot, but I'll be trying to keep this brief and informative without going too crazy and too in-depth and out in the woods. I want you to be able to understand this regardless of your background or history in finance. So without further ado, let's start. And reminder, if you find this at all helpful or informative, please drop a like and be sure to subscribe to our YouTube to get any future updates to our videos. If you have any comments or questions about NFTs after this video, be sure to drop them in the comment section below and I will get back to you immediately. So without further ado, let's dive on into it. And first off, I just want to quickly define, well, what does non-fungible mean? I mean, that's such an odd word. You know, fungible, fungi. It's like fungi. Does this have to do with mushrooms? No, it does not. Fungible essentially means it's able to replace or be replaced by another identical item. It is mutually interchangeable. There's nothing unique about it. We're talking things like a share of a stock. I could have one share of a stock or another share of a stock. A share of a stock is a share of a stock. Or a dollar bill. I've got a $1 bill here and a $1 bill here. If I change who owns that $1, change the $1 bill between hands, these two hands still have the same $1 bill essentially in their hands. Or say a Bitcoin. A Bitcoin is a Bitcoin. Price, notwithstanding. So non-fungible means it is unique and cannot necessarily just be replaced. We're talking things like diamonds. Diamonds are not, they're all very unique. Every diamond is a different rating, different cut, whatever. Pieces of land, trading cards, things like that have more of a, some specialties and some nuances that change in their value, and you can't just replace it. So a non-fungible token now is what we're going to be talking about here, and this is really going to be focusing on the digital world. This is kind of like digital art, digital goods, and so technically an NFT could probably be made from anything digital. We're talking a picture, a video, probably a software or something interactive like that. It's very kind of loose in terms of that. And going forward, where a lot of the conversation seems to be holding around NFTs is concerning NFTs' future, is this might be the next evolution in fine art collecting. And in this case, we're talking about collecting digital art. Think about the people that are owning Monets and collecting Picassos and Rembrandts. Well, this is kind of the next evolution to that, probably, maybe, I don't know. It's something digitalized. I want to give you an example, maybe help you conceptualize. Say that you make a really cool digital art piece. It could be a picture, it could be a really cool video, some kind of CGI, maybe something interactive. You can then take that and make an NFT around it, which is essentially you make a token of ownership. And then you can sell that ownership of that art as an NFT. So I could literally make a really cool painting online, completely digital, and create an NFT with it, and then sell the ownership of that painting. So whoever buys this NFT owns the painting or the digital art that I created online. Now, if some of you actually think about this for a second, you might be like, well, wait, hang on a second. It's just an online picture or an online video. I mean, anyone could just copy and paste that, right? Anyone could literally just go to the NFT, the picture, the video, right-click on it, save it, download it, whatever, and you could just redistribute that. Anyone could technically have this piece of digital good. And you're right. The NFT is really just supposed to give you ownership of the original video or the original painting. Think about it this way if you're still scratching your head. technically you could go out and buy a reprint or a replicant or a printed version or a recreation of any painting out there, any Monet painting, Picasso painting. I've seen people, pictures of Picasso paintings in my grandparents' house. It doesn't mean they own a Picasso. No, it means they own just a print of it, but they don't own the original. Only one person technically owns the original. And it's a little odd in the digital space, yes, but also, just like art, just because you own that original doesn't mean you own the copyright to that item. The artist and the original owner still technically owns the copyright. It owns the way to use it for marketing and use it in recreations and actually create that piece. It's the same way with digital arts. The artist still owns the copyright of the item or the picture or the video or whatever the NFT is surrounding, and you just kind of you own it. So, what are some examples of NFT? Let's give you some actual examples of ones that have been sold. Some of these might blow your mind, and yes, these are actual NFTs that have been sold. Examples of NFTs sold. A person out there paid $6.6 million for a video made by Beeple. I don't know what Beeple is. I don't know the video itself. I'm just kind of pulling some stats here. There was another digital artwork sold at auction for $69.3 million. We are talking an online digital artwork that went to auction. People bought it because they wanted to own the rights to it. Grimes, if you know who she is, she's married to Elon Musk now. She does a lot of stuff, both art and music, and she's kind of almost a personality now at this point. She sold this very trippy, you can watch the video, you can look up any of this and own it and download it yourself. This trippy 50-second video that I watched, and I was like, I don't know what drugs I'm on, but she sold the ownership of that for $390,000. She sold multiple videos for, I believe, now over $6 million, I think. Many of you probably have heard of NBA Top Shot. There's a lot of sports kind of systems going around this now where it's literally owning and selling highlight videos. LeBron James making a really crazy dunk, or Blake Griffin finally making a dunk for after years of doing nothing. So someone can actually somehow own the original clip. And so that's what this NBA Top Shot is. So we're seeing that in the sports sector now. Someone recently sold a virtual house on Mars. This is completely, digital house on Mars for $500,000. We're talking a digital house here. And this is probably one of the epitomes of it. There was a man, I believe in New York City, who recorded his farts and, kind of strung them together into a 52-minute compilation and sold that for a few $100s. Yep. Sounds of his farts. And finally, this is kind of one of the more maybe realistic is a question. The founder of Twitter actually sold what I believe is his first tweet that was autographed, and he sold that for millions. So we're talking some serious money is being passed along here. This isn't just someone's buying a tweet for $5. I'm sure that's happening as well, but this is what's getting people scratching their heads. Who's buying a tweet for millions of dollars? Now, yeah, this is completely digital. And for the most part, yes, almost nothing is physical and tangible here in this case. It is all kept in your digital wallet. I'm not going to get into the ins and outs of Bitcoin or what digital wallets are. You can kind of figure that out for yourself. It's pretty easy to understand a digital wallet. Some of these are trying to tie some NFTs to physical items. This is getting a little weird, and this is going to get out in the woods, so I'm not going to dive into how they're trying to do this and what this is trying to do. All you really need to know is that, for example, in 2019, Nike actually patented something called crypto kicks. I don't know what this is exactly. I don't think they've really mastered this or implemented it, but it's supposed to be a way to verify sneaker authenticity using an NFT system. The sneaker game, I do know from family that it is actually really big, and being able to capitalize and grab sneakers and get very valuable sneakers can actually net you a nice profit if you flip at them. There are also some other software companies like video games trying to make it so that if you own certain NFTs, you can then use that in-game and it translates the software. I don't know any of that, so people are trying to tie it to other things and make NFTs more than just digital art ownership. But, this is really still kind of new ground and uncharted ground. So let's give you a little more details on the NFT backend here. So technically, I think the first time we really saw NFTs kind of start popping up was around 2014. I'm not going to get into the weird things that they did originally because it was very kind of nuanced. But in 2017 is where we first saw some projects of NFTs started. It didn't really blow up and gain mainstream attention until around this year, though. In the last couple of months is really when we saw NFTs start to pop. Most of the NFTs, not EFTs, NFTs are actually part of the Ethereum blockchain. blockchain. If you don't know what Ethereum is, it's just another cryptocurrency like Bitcoin, like Dogecoin, any of those kind of cryptocurrencies. So yes, Bitcoin can come out with its own NFTs, and Dogecoin can come out with their own NFTs. Most of the NFTs right now are backed in Ethereum, I believe, which means that it's the blockchain. It's kind of nuanced and linked with Ethereum in that it's the blockchain of Ethereum that is kind of supporting these NFTs and storing the transaction information. If you don't know how cryptos work and blockchains and how they store that information, that's going to be a whole nother separate project for you. I apologize. But just know that they do have some kind of backing and interlinking with the crypto that supports them. So there is kind of this marrying with crypto to an extent, which makes sense because they're similar digital goods being sold like this. So say you want to go out, you want to peruse the market for NFTs, see if there's anything that strikes your fancy. Become a digital art collector like the other rich ones. Well, where do you go and buy and sell them? There are several marketplaces that pop up online that you can go and look at. Some of the top ones I saw just from initial Google searches: OpenSea, Rarible, Nifty Gateway. I believe Nifty Gateway is the one that Grimes uses. But you can go in there and you can buy and sell, whatever, and I believe it can be in whatever currency. You don't have to buy and sell in Ethereum. You can buy and sell with dollars. But there is some Ethereum made in the creation of it, but that's a whole other topic that I'll cover in a moment. But there are just open marketplaces, because otherwise it would be very hard to transfer this and buy and sell this, and that would make it very difficult to actually give it some good value if it's hard to buy and sell. So how do you make and how do you sell these NFTs, Well, there is a benefit to the artist to making them, other than kind of the initial sell. Most NFTs will have a feature that will pay the artist a percentage every time that NFT is sold or changes hands. So an interesting theory there, say Picasso made a little extra cash every time his paintings were sold. Obviously, he wouldn't really have panned out on that until it was too late, but that's pretty interesting. Now, and if making NFTs isn't necessarily easy or cheap, making an NFT could come with a couple $100s of costs. And I don't know the complete nuanced details on putting this NFT and creating the token and putting it on the marketplace, but I do know that to do this, you need to own a little bit of Ethereum, which you can buy. It's a cryptocurrency, and Ethereum's a little pricey right now. That's where a lot of that initial cost will come from. But other than that, you'll really, from what I've seen, just need a digital wallet, a bit of Ethereum, whatever digital good you've made and are trying to sell, and whatever NFT marketplace you're trying to sell on. I can't comment on that beyond that. I haven't tried to make an NFT myself. I haven't, talked to any artists of NFTs, but it seems pretty easy and a lot easier than what people might think to just simply buy and sell stuff. If you want to go into an established market, NBA Top Shot and some of those groups that are already creating their own little marketplaces and nuances, you could honestly probably just sign up and start buying and selling things. Now, what are these benefits to NFTs? It's kind of weird, right? Well, I mean, technically, if you think about it, it gives the artist who made this digital art more ways to make money on their artwork. Say, I'm someone who's really good at Photoshop or Blender, and I can make really cool videos and really cool pictures and really awesome things on the computer. Maybe I'm not gifted with paint and things like that, but I'm good on the computer. A lot of, let's be honest, millennials, Zoomers, whatever you want to call them, are probably a lot better at creating things on the computer than with a pen and paper or paint. So this might give them a way to capitalize on that. Maybe assign an NFT to it and see if people are interested in owning their work. But could we somehow expand past this? This is only just a stepping stone, I could say. Who knows what the next evolution of this is or what the next step is. It's possible that this could turn into something really interesting in terms of owning digital pieces and being able to transfer wealth through digital means and being able to actually transfer ownership of things without the physical, tangible thing. So that's pretty interesting. And also, here's kind of a side benefit. It's a lot easier to steal a painting than it is to steal a digital good, especially with a lot of the encryption that goes on with cryptocurrencies and Ethereum. A lot of this is recorded with the blockchain, and those blockchains and transactions are recorded online. So it's very hard to steal anything surrounding crypto. It's possible. Crypto has been stolen. All you need kind of is people's wallets and things like that. There are digital wallets, but it's a lot easier, honestly, to go steal a painting. That's really kind of the only benefits right now, unless you're going to be a speculator, and try to buy something and sell it for more or something like that. What are the downsides to NFTs? And then we're going to talk a little bit more about this. Well, it's going to be really easy for someone to start ripping off some unknown or new artist's art, try to quickly make an NFT or token and try to give themselves ownership of it if it's not been a copyright piece of art, and then sell that and scam and sell art that's not theirs. I mean, this is where it's really getting muddled to me is, how do I know, how do I not go to Google Images and steal an image and then try to make an NFT for it and sell it? The process is unclear to me, and how that exactly is going to be, have some checkpoints and some regulation, that still seems up in the air to me. But, there is going to be some interesting downside to that, I'm sure. Also, this is going to be very new and speculative, obviously. I mean, we're talking people are paying millions, if not tens of millions of dollars for some things. They have no idea right now if that value is going to hold a week, a month, a year later. They have no idea. This is very new and kind of unique and a little strange in terms of the market and how accessible it is to new investors, new buyers, new sellers. So it's very speculative right now. It's very new. There are some claims right now that it's going to take a lot of energy consumption to keep this going. And no, I mean a lot. There have been some claims out there that this is going to drive up climate change, drive up energy costs, and absolutely cripple a lot of energy consumption. I'm seeing a lot of people kind of debate back and forth about this, so I think this is still up in the air as to whether this actually increases energy consumption, since it's already tied to Ethereum, and Ethereum it's not going to increase it in theory. Ethereum energy consumption. This is still up in the air, but if this is true, that could be a significant downside that actually could bring in regulation from governing bodies just to slow down the energy consumption. So it's something to keep in mind. Now that we kind of at least get a basic understanding of, hey, this is just really just buying and selling the ownership of videos and pictures. Yes, other people can still copy it and have a copy of it, but hey, you still own that original Monet, right? It doesn't matter if someone has an exact replica in their house that is almost in no way discernible from your own, and you paid millions for it and they paid $10 for it. You still own the original. So kind of a rich person's game in some ways. But I think you should participate? You, the viewer, you, the investor, you, the speculator, you, the artist. Well, look, there will be some sort of sustained NFT market at the end of all of this, I'm sure. I'm sure there will be still some sustained buying and selling of online digital goods. It will still exist, kind of like how crypto, yes, the hype of crypto died down. It's popped back up here in recent times, obviously, but it's going to have some hype moments and some lull moments. I would not personally recommend you buy NFTs for speculation and a rise in price unless you do some serious homework. You need to be able to identify how easy is it going to be for me to buy something, how easy is it for me going to be able to flip it back on the market, what's my holding time, and how much am I willing to risk. I don't know how quickly this market will collapse back in on itself. This could sustain. It could continue. People might think it's really cool and nifty to own digital art. I mean, hell, there's a lot of people here who've got nothing better to do with their money and really just don't know what else to do with it. And so this is going to be right up their alley. So let's be honest. Now, if you have the cash to risk it and you're creative enough and you think you've got some really unique digital things, then maybe creating NFTs could be a possible side venture for you. Maybe you could get some cash. I can't speak to this because that's a whole nother venture and research topic in itself. It would obviously depend on the size of the buyer base, how many people are able to get into that marketplace, how easy it is for new buyers and sellers to enter the NFT marketplace. What are the ease of access and the restrictions and barriers to entry? This hype could absolutely come in wave like with crypto. Bitcoin was really popular and popped in 2017, died down for a couple of years. It's popping again more than ever. So it could be pretty similar. What if you're a stock trader? There is a trader's perspective here because there is some serious stock hype in NFT stocks right now. I'm going to show you some stock charts in a moment that might blow your mind. All of these are temporary stock hype and in my opinion not sustainable for long-term investing. You'd have to do some serious homework, find someone that owns some serious NFT marketplaces or has some kind of company edge out there, but I don't see anything like that right now. I see just some crazy good day trading opportunities and a lot of hype out there, and I'm going to show you a couple examples in a moment. But the same thing happened in 2017 when Bitcoin went really hot. I'm going to show you some Bitcoin charts that are going to blow your mind. We're talking 200%, 10,000%, stocks that went up astronomically, and the SEC had to rip them out of the market because it was manipulation. Look, we'll probably get more stocks that pile in. They add NFT to their name or they add NFT to their mission statement and they go up. And maybe we'll get some ETFs, some other ways of investment. So there's going to be some interesting stock perspectives following up and some ways that you could trade that. I'm going to show us a couple stock charts now. If you aren't interested in the stock side of things, this is probably around the end for you. I'll be giving a conclusion slide at the end here, but hopefully now you kind of understand what the digital NFT market is. This is one of the stocks, TCAT, T-K-A-T. It's Takhung Art. Now, they operate an electronic artwork trading platform. Naturally, it seems like one of the marketplaces. I don't know if that's really going to give them profit and value, but the hype drove them from $2.52 a share to $74. And we're talking in less than a week. That's obviously astronomical. It's a little bit manipulatory, obviously. There were some really good day trading opportunities. Maybe we'll do some videos on that on a side video, but there was a lot of momentum and movement here. Here's another one, OCG. This is the daily chart. So just to clarify, this was over multiple days. Every bar on here is 30 minutes. This is a daily chart. Every bar here is a day. This is an online provider of collectibles and artwork online. So this is another kind of similar sector. They're getting a decent pop here. Not going too crazy, obviously, but this is something that's obviously just building on the hype. DLPN. This is another one that kind of came out and said they're not related to the NFT network, but they're going to try to incorporate it into their business somehow. I didn't see any details as to whether they had a plan on that or how they're going to do it, but this one went from $4, $5 a share to 38 in one day. It's all it takes is people driving the hype and driving those day traders, those algos, those meme traders, whatever. Zkin, Z-K-I-N. They make stainless steel and carbon steel pipe products. But a subsidiary of theirs is going to design an NFT marketplace probably. So hey, let's drive them on up, baby. Funko. This is actually kind of a company. They own Funko Pops. They sell kind of like the figures and stuff. That's a collectible in its own right, and it's speculative in its own right, but this is a physical good. But they said just recently, we're going to try to capitalize on this as well. They might actually be kind of positioned to be able to do something like that if they could tie it to a real good or something, but we'll see. This is just an example of what we've seen in the last 2 days. It's been astronomical, and we're seeing just the beginning of this stock hype with this NFTs. It could absolutely continue. It could already fizzle out. It's really going to depend on the marketplace, and if traders are going to be interested, it's going to give some good day trading opportunities if you're experienced and if you can manage risk. Whole nother topic. Finally, I just want to show you some crazy stocks. This is some examples of when Bitcoin went crazy in 2017. These are some companies here that added blockchain to their name or changed their name to kind of incorporate blockchain into it, and they pivoted and their stock went up astronomically for no reason at all. Long Island Iced Tea, yes, they changed their name to Long Blockchain Corp in 2017 and went up over 200%. It's since recently delisted for not providing financial statements for over years. Fruit juice company, a sports bra company, a vape company. Why not? We add blockchain to our name during this hype, and we're going to go up several 100%. We can cash out, make some quick buck on a company that's not doing anything. Here's an example. This is Long Island Iced Tea, or now Long Blockchain. This is the end of 2017. $2 share company. Bam, up almost to $10 a share just because they changed their name to Long Blockchain. Sky People Fruit Juice Company, $1.50 to $8. They wanted to add blockchain somehow to their juice. I don't know. CRCW Crypto Company, this one obviously didn't trade as much volume. We're talking only a couple thousands of shares. This went from $3 to $642. I never, ever, ever want to recommend that someone touch something like this. First of all, you will lose everything. But they went public by acquiring a sports bra company and then tried to hop on that crypto chain. And then finally, we've got a vape company. This was some vape company that changed their name to Node Chain. Went from $1 up to $7. I mean, it just went on and on and on, and we saw this multiple times of companies just throwing blockchain in their name or even whispering about crypto. And suddenly the market was, kind of day trading them higher. These are by no means investable companies, and I would never recommend someone invest in this. NFT might be a little different, and you might get some companies that might be able to position themselves in the marketplace and sustain themselves, but you're going to see a lot of crap among one or two diamonds maybe, so keep that in mind. We're going a little long here, I apologize, so let's conclude things here. We are talking simply about buying and selling ownership rights to digital art. That's all it is. You're simply buying the right to own a video or a picture or a piece of artwork online. Yes, that video and picture is going to be all over the internet, and anyone else can look at it and use it and copy it. Same as a normal painting, technically. Now, it is still new. The future of this is uncertain. The size and scope of this right now and how fast it took off kind of feels like hype, That's fine. But the value of art, remember, lies in the eye of the beholder. Many feel the same about physical art. Many people say, why would you pay millions of dollars for a painting? What are you thinking? I mean, you could just buy a replica and you wouldn't tell the difference. It's different to everyone. Some people see that as speculation. Oh, in years I'll be able to sell it for more when it's rarer or older and worth more. Some people just simply like to have it. Some people it's a status symbol. Some people it's just for fun. So you're absolutely going to get some of that in the NFT market. So it might not die just because of that alone. There are absolute parallels between the physical art world and the NFT world. And this could be good creation opportunities. It could give those digital artists and those creators some good opportunities to make capital. It really depends on how the marketplace is and how it goes. And it absolutely could bring in some good stock trading and maybe future investing opportunities. But, this is still early in the hype, guys. The NFT market, is not regulated right now. I don't know if it ever will be regulated. Is crypto regulated? Not really. But there's going to be some questions raised. I'm sure regulators and lawmakers are going to stick their nose in it. And if they do try to do something, it'll be misplaced and it'll completely avoid any issues on it, let's be honest. But right now, it's very early, it's very young, there's a lot of potential, but there's also potential for you to really get hurt and for you to not fully understand the risks or the benefits. So I hope that this was a good kind of beginner level intro video as to what an NFT is and why it's kind of popular right now, and ultimately how maybe you, someone you know, or you could make some money, or hell, just enjoy the ride and at least understand what's going on when you see a video of LeBron James selling for thousands of dollars, or some trippy video that Grimes made selling for hundreds of thousands of dollars. It's all crazy. It's all gravy in the end, but until then, we're going to do what we can to educate and inform and let you make your own decisions from there. This was Nick from Vant Trading. I hope that this was helpful and informative, and as always, safe trading.